guys, it's Kat, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about things not to say and things to say to people who struggle with mental illness. So if you like this video or find it helpful at all, like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to this channel if you want to. So I'm going to be starting off by talking about things not to say to people who struggle with mental illness. Number one would be, it could be worse. So as an outsider looking in, you personally might think that their situation's not that bad or their situation could be worse, but it doesn't negate the fact that they're having a really bad and a rough time. And by saying it could be worse to them, you're kind of dismissing and invalidating what they're feeling and what they're going through, which is kind of a shitty thing to do. So it's not really the best idea to tell someone it could be worse. Secondly would be anything along the lines of let it go or get over it or just be happy, anything like that. Again, this kind of invalidates what they're going through and how they're feeling, and if they could let it go, or if they could just be happy and they could just turn off what they're feeling like a light switch, I'm sure that they would do that. I'm sure that they've tried to just let it go. I'm sure that they've just tried to be happy, but unfortunately they just can't, and it's how they're feeling, and you telling them to let it go or be happy is not going to fix the situation. It's not going to magically get them help or make them feel better. Like, it's not very helpful. Number three would be, you're such a burden. This is pretty awful to say to someone, regardless if they have mental health issues or not, but it's especially hurtful to people who are mentally ill, because a lot of people think that they are a burden and that they don't really want to, some people don't want to open up to their friends and families about what they're going through and how they're feeling because they think they're a burden. So again, this is not great. Number four would be, you're bringing my mood down or you're ruining my vibe or anything like that. I personally don't want to go out sometimes because I think that I'm going to bring the mood down or the vibe down of whatever situation I am in. So sometimes I'll just not go out because then, like, I don't want to be a burden to my friends or my family, and pretty hurtful and upsetting to hear, especially if that's like a big insecure fear if you are mentally ill, and that's kind of like feeding into your mental illness, and then they might not want to go out as much if they feel like they're ruining the vibe or bringing the mood down or anything like that. It can be pretty isolating to them to hear that. The next one would be, don't worry about it or calm down or anything like that. This is another one that kind of dismisses and invalidates how they're feeling and what they're going through. Last one would be any sort of unsolicited religious advice, like pray it away or God will make it better or anything like that. Like, that again is just kind of invalidating and dismissing like how they feel and what they're going through, and saying that it will just magically get better when that's not always the case. Now I'm going to be talking about things to say to people with mental illnesses. So it's really important to let them know that you're always there for them and that you will listen to them and support them regardless of what they're going through. So things like, I'm always here for you, or you can always talk to me, is very helpful to hear, and just supporting them regardless. Another one is just generally asking how they're doing and if they're okay, because this kind of opens up the door for them to talk to you about things if they aren't okay and if they're not doing well. Also asking someone how you can help them and what you can do, especially in situations where they might be having an anxiety episode or anything like that, is also really helpful, because sometimes everyone's different. And sometimes some people just want to be listened to, and some people want advice, and some people just want to be hugged, and some people don't want to be touched at all, and they just want you like there in the room with them, knowing that you're listening and supporting them. So I think it's really important to communicate with the people you know that are mentally ill and just ask them what you can do to help them through those situations where it's really difficult for them. And lastly, it's extremely important to just listen to them and what they need and what they want without any judgment and without being condescending and without trying to give them unsolicited advice or anything like that, and just trying to be there for them. That's the end of today's video. I hope you found it informative or helpful, and I'll leave some resources in the description box about how to help people who are mentally ill. And that's all for today. Bye!